Hello again everybody, and here's another video on the Keyway project bike. It's an RKS 125 Euro 4 with fuel injection, made in 2019. Obviously I'm not going to give away the registration details, I don't want people doing millions of searches on it. We go over to the ignition here, and it has done. Wait, it will start up. 13,569 miles. So the question I wanted to answer today is, was this bike worth buying? And I'm going to answer that at the beginning and say, maybe. Here's the story. So historically, when I've been doing my bike projects, what I've done is I bought something broken and I fixed it. The last bike I did before this was a B&W K1100 LT. All the bodywork was smashed up, and the ABS system was broken, and it all needed reprogramming, forks rebuilding. Yeah, quite a long technical process, and I really enjoyed doing it. And yeah, the project washed its face. I used it for a period of time, so effectively I would say free bike. So if you call that a win, yeah, that's a win. And I think this bike is going to kind of fall into that category, and I'll explain why now. So the modern way, it seems to be, of buying salvage is to register yourself an account with a company called Copart, and they have regular online auctions selling cars, motorbikes that are either category recorded or unrecorded, some form of damage, stolen, recovered, all these sort of insurance claim stuff that you could possibly think of. Now, to access these, first of all, you have to buy a membership. Then once you bought the membership, then you have to go on, find the bike you want to buy, bid for it, purchase it. And then once you've bought it, there is an auction fee which you can go onto the coach. Everything's all visible. You can go and see how much the auction fee will be for buying that bike off their website. And there is a tiered system. Essentially, if you're buying more than 12 a year, it's a lower price. If you're buying less than 12 a year, they treat you as an occasional buyer. And yeah, you are effectively a retail customer. So I'm not going to go on to the exact numbers on this bike, but essentially when you figure you've got a bike that has got a retail price of, we'll say when I got it, £1,200, top whack. When you consider that probably half of what I paid for this bike was auction fees and shipping, because I just wanted to, I have a commercial vehicle, I could have moved it myself, I just wanted to try the process out and see how it worked. This is all part of the process, because I had in mind, oh god, I can't remember where I started this process now. It was a long time ago that I was going to record this and let people know, is this feasible? And yeah, if I was looking to make a profit, absolutely 100% no. If I'm doing it for myself, brilliant. I can do this. I can use it for a period of time. I can sell the bike on when I'm finished with it. And yeah, I've had some fun. I've enjoyed putting it back together again. And again, the bikes could probably cost me next to nothing. But, I've not made anything. If you were doing this with an idea of making money, then I would say you probably need to be looking at bikes that go through the auction, a minimum of a four-figure sum. I would say £1,200, because then you're going to have a look at a retail bike where you've got a reasonable bite to buy the parts, repair the bike, and then sell it on and cover your costs. And then if you're looking to make a drink, pay for a weekend away, then that's what you do. But yeah, no, this is not a way of making, sitting down, doing the odd one, and all of a sudden you're on easy street making loads of money. It just does not work like that. There are other channels on YouTube which obviously show cars being rebuilt, Salvage Rebuilds UK. Those guys do some absolutely fantastic work, but they put in hours and hours of highly skilled work to turn a relatively cheap piece of car salvage into a top quality used car. With motorbikes, it doesn't take much to make one of these into a category B breaker. Now, what category B is you cannot put that back on the road, and you also, unless you are physically registered to do so, you can't even buy a category B breaker and take it home with you. Can't be done. You have to be a registered, recorded breaker of some description to take that vehicle and take parts off that vehicle. So yeah, it's a professional job to do something like that, and not something I've tried to do yet. Thinking about it, just so that I can sort of show you how it's all done. But I don't know how the mechanics will work, and if I need to upscale enough to make that feasible. So don't hold your breath on that one. But the bike will go back together. The bike will run. It will get an MOT. It will look like, where are we at now? It will look like a 4-year-old bike when it's done. And it will be a nice thing to ride, I think. So yeah, we'll take you through what I've got, done on the bike, and what is left to do. And it'll give you an idea, probably, of, with my level of procrastination, probably quite a long time, but how long we've got left to do. So, second-hand tank. This tank, that was all dented in at the side. It was still sealed and usable, but looked ugly. This handlebar here, bent, smashed. Wing mirror, bent, smashed. Bar ends broken, lever broken. So what I've done here is I've got some aftermarket mirrors. I think they look quite nice. They suit the bike. They sort of add that sort of slightly aggressive tone to the bike. Different bar ends. Being a bicycle dealer, Oxford are one of my key suppliers, and they make some nice stuff. And I think that, again, the Oxford bar end suits the bar nicely, and these are Oxford mirrors. Didn't need to be done, but there was a bit of fraying inside this cable here, so this is a brand new part, and that's quite interesting. You know, when you read about continuous product development, yeah, that was quite an interesting case, actually, and I regret actually not recording me changing that part. But what happened was there was a small amount of fraying on the cable in here, and it was still sound, but I just didn't fancy the idea of that cable suddenly letting go when I was riding halfway around a bend and just losing all throttle and going straight on into a hedge, which would be fairly unpleasant for the cost of this cable. And the new one actually is a fully plastic coated cable running through all there. So I've lubricated it. I'm not actually even sure it actually needs lubrication because of the way it's done, but definitely a higher quality part than the one I took off. This metal here is a higher quality metal. The original had, this sort of greeny, very soft metal that is fitted to a lot of Chinese vehicles. No longer the case. What else have we done so far? We've had broken footrests, which I've repaired. The side stand I've repainted. The shifter I straightened, but I then decided, yeah, I'll order a new shifter. This is what's caused the vast majority of my procrastination. This took, I don't know, I can't even remember how long, but 6 to 12 months to get hold of this part. Now, realistically, could I have gone onto AliExpress and bought it? Probably. Didn't think about that before I ordered it. Ordered it anyway. Again, wanted to see what the process was like, because when you're buying safety-related equipment, which I think this sort of stuff is, even though it's not, it's a piece of metal. But it's still the gear shifter. I'm kind of hesitant to buy that blind online from an unknown supplier. This is obviously clearly a branded Chinese part, so if the supplier in China was offering a branded Chinese part in a Chinese packaging from the Chinese company, that's different, because I buy a lot of e-bike parts that way, that I would consider to be perfectly legitimate because it's where they're made and what they're up to. But anything that's like a third-party brand, I'm very hesitant of. And also, I would be incredibly hesitant about buying things like brake pads, for example, or tyres. That's probably a safety step too far for something that I just don't know about. Job still left to do. Well, I've serviced the engine. I still need to do the valve clearances ideally. I'm still waiting for the strap for the battery. I do have one. It tore slightly when I replaced that battery, and I thought, again, I think it was £6 for two. Why risk a battery wobbling around and short circuiting, or the strap breaking for a few pounds? It's just not worth it. And I'm going to get a friend of mine to weld a small panel onto here to replace this one here. I've lost one of these. I'm going to stick a riv nut in that. I do have the chrome panel to go on the top of there to give it its original finish. So not a huge amount to do on this, in all fairness, before it goes for its MOT. A few cosmetic jobs I'd like to do. I'd probably like to take the wheels off and repaint them. And you look here, I mean, it looks, this is all just untidy here. I just don't like this. Whoever's been doing this work on here has been careless, and it just, to me, it just doesn't look nice. I mean, the wheel, you can't really see in the video, the wheel is undamaged. It just looks scabby and horrible, and I just, as a personal thing, I just don't like it. That tyre to me is looking fairly sketch as well, so it might be some fresh rubber might be the order of the day, and also chain lubrication that needs to be lubricated. I haven't done that yet. So yeah, it's a few minor jobs. But where are we realistically going to talk? Weeks. I have to shop around for some tyres. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still in two minds. Just want to get all the panel work back on the bike, but that won't happen obviously until I do the exhaust. I've got some high temperature exhaust paint to just put a nice. Not that the finish on here is bad. It's not corroded. It just makes it look a bit second-hand. Clearly it is, but it's a motorbike. I always find it just has to have a little bit of bling about it, and it makes you feel good when it looks good. Personal view, that's the way I like it. But what I would say, ladies and gentlemen, if you've liked my ramblings and my content, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Say what you want to see me do next. If there's anything else in mind, I've got another project that I'm seriously thinking about doing. As in, yeah, it's going to happen. But yeah, really old to finish this one first. But yeah, two on the go. Why not? If you've got one on the go, you can have two on the go, and you've got two on the go. You know what's going to happen. You're going to have 3, 4, 5. Well, we'll get there. But anyway, thanks for watching to this point and putting up with my whisperings. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you very much, and bye for now.